Sharing food and eating together is one way we connect.
That's good.
That's pretty good, huh?
It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how recipes are an expression of a particular place, time, and people who created them. When we look at traditional Hawaiian ingredients, we see how connected Nā Kanaka o Keia Aina, the people of this land, are to the environment. But what happens when the natural resources and coral reefs degrade? When I first learned about the near total reef collapse at Māʻalaea Bay in the Ahupuaʻa of Waikapu, Maui, I wondered if anyone else was closely watching this silent tragedy happening under the surface of beautiful ocean views. Is anyone doing anything to change this? And could the bay ever recover? This sparked a journey to visit with folks who are involved in Aina and Kai land and ocean restoration, and to visit different areas of the Pohakea watershed to find some answers.
My name is Keoki Felter. I was born and raised here in Maalaea. So blessed to say that, because there's not very many people who can say that. I've seen so much change, and the change is primarily negative, right? I mean, these changes are from land to the sea, yeah?
For centuries, Ka Māʻalaea was a thriving fishing village. Upland, the hillsides and gulches were forested, and seasonal streams provided fresh water to the red clay mudflats of Kelia. Kelia is one of Hawaii's largest wetland systems and is known for its production of makai, sea salt. Māʻalaea transitioned over the course of the whaling and shipping era. In the 1790s, cattle were first introduced to Māʻalaea, and they devoured the native plant species. In the 1930s, sugar barons vastly altered the landscape by bulldozing their fields and smothering seasonal streams like Kanaio, drastically changing how water flows mauka to makai. Ultimately, Kanaio Stream was redirected with the construction of Honua Piʻilani Highway, and when there are heavy rains, the water flows unnaturally fast, carrying with it sediment and other land source pollutants onto the reef. In 1939, Pu'unene Naval Air Base was built, becoming the largest naval air station during World War II. The construction of Māʻalaea Harbor started in the 1950s, and shortly after, a dozen condominiums and commercial area. These developments installed injection well systems connected directly to the ocean, in which wastewater is disposed of up to 60 million gallons per year, creating an additional stressor on the marine ecosystem. The result? Almost entire reef ecosystem collapse. Māʻalaea Bay is on the EPA's 303D list of impaired and threatened water bodies. The Marine Institute at the Maui Ocean Center is taking a holistic approach with community outreach and coral research and outplanting.
In 1975, it had 75% coral reef coverage. In 2005, the coral reef was noted to have 3% coral reef coverage. And so the sediment and the wastewater pouring into the bay here really made Maalaea kind of the poster child of coral reef ecosystem collapse in Maui for sure, in Hawaii potentially as well. It's a really beautiful place, but it's under a lot of threat too. So that's one of the things that we're working towards here, is trying to resurrect and bring back Maalaea to the proud state that it used to be.
Really about the safeguarding, conserving the environment, and really, in my opinion, inspiring the communities at large, near and far, and the younger generation. So it's kind of multiple vision statements, so to speak.
But it's not just coral. Limu is an essential ingredient in traditional Hawaiian cuisine, and it plays a vital role in the nearshore marine ecosystem. Symbrosia's limu restoration effort is working to cultivate and restore limu kohu throughout the islands.
Limu is super cool just because it's a primary producer. It's at the bottom, the base of our food chain or food pyramid, basically. So without limu, essentially the whole marine ecosystem could collapse.
So what kind of limu might we find in Māʻalaea?
So yeah, when I was a kid, we used to go over there and harvest a couple different limu. One limu I know that used to be there was ogo or Māʻalaea. I used to just wash up on the shore too, and that's where we used to collect ogo for poke and whatnot. And then also vavaiole has kind of an umami flavor, maybe not for everyone, but that's what we used to collect there as well. I think some of our more favored native species are really sensitive to some of the pollutants that we're seeing in the water, and even just sedimentation, I would say, probably also plays a big part, not just in coral, but in limu. If they get completely smothered, they need sun to grow. I think limu is a really cool indicator of ocean health, and then also kind of metaphorically tells us the message of how it's important to not only take care of one thing, like we have to restore the whole Ahupuaʻa system, or however you want to look at it, but in order for one thing to thrive in the ocean, we also need to make sure we're caring for our uplands.
We need to turn the stressors off, right? So the sediment and the wastewater. So once we turn those off, then we can consider bringing more corals to the area. It has to be a lot of cross-industry collaboration between the people that work in the watersheds, people that work in the lowland flats, coastal workers, beach, and then the in-water groups as well.
We are going to be speaking with people who are working to shut off these stressors, starting at the top with the Pohakea watershed.
This would have been dry forest, what we would think of as arid. It would have been a canopy of wili and nio with an understory, and then finally ground cover as well. So this has been drastically altered and stripped.
Extreme alteration of the landscape has contributed to the high risk of natural disasters in Maʻalaea, like severe flooding and wildfire conditions similar to what we saw in Lahaina. The Division of Forestry and Wildlife Pohakea Restoration is implementing simple yet effective techniques that keep fine fuels down and reduce erosion runoff, all while reestablishing dryland forest.
We've got contracted grazing animals. There were some here earlier moving around.
Oh, wow.
They're doing their job, and they keep the grass low, and that helps you have less fuel. But it holds the soil in place. People might say, well, the deer were doing that.
Right.
They were stripping everything, all the way up to, the upper limbs. So
Wow.
we would never be able to reestablish the whole
A
community.
canopy.
Kukui are great to grow, building the understory from the top down. That's shade, it breaks up rain droplets, it helps conserve moisture. And by the way, trees also create microclimates around themselves that draw more moisture in. So it's making that whole cycle again. And it has to start someplace. It's going to take a generation at least to get the land recovered, but it can happen fast. And these are the pioneers.
As dryland reforestation takes place at the top of Pohakea, the County of Maui has plans to revitalize Kanaio Stream.
Kanaio Stream, this watershed here off of the mountain, funnels under this, through this retention basin here, out into the ocean. Through the years, is a major pollutant from a non-point source pollution to a point source out into Māʻalaea Bay.
They diverted the stream in order to have more arable land for sugarcane. I look at it as kind of like righting some of the wrongs of the past. And it's a lot easier to wreck an ecosystem, I think, than it is to fix it. So using that old original stream channel wasn't really feasible. So we looked at basically just constructing another stream channel following the topography of the land.
Wes, what you see from the imagery, the aerial imagery now, is that the original natural path of Kanaio?
I think so. There's aerial imagery from the 50s even.
Oh, wow.
But this area was so altered. They just plowed this land, I mean, down to like 4 feet deep and just leveled everything. So there's this real legacy of a lot of significant landscape modifications over the years. So it's hard to figure out exactly where that stream channel was. What happens if we reroute it? Where's the new path going to be? So we've done some of the feasibility studies for that. Hopefully within the next year or two, we can at least have a really refined design for the stream and start looking for implementation funds. Some people want to let's go back to how it used to be. And that can be really, really difficult when you have all these invasives, you have, no seed bank, no soil built up. The hydrology's all changed. So you have to work with what you've got.
Those are the current efforts to address the sediment issues. But what about the wastewater pollution from the injection wells?
The whole problem with injection wells is that you don't remove nutrients from the wastewater, right? And so the wastewater then goes directly into the groundwater, not very far from the ocean. We're talking like less than 50 yards from the ocean. So the nutrients that go down into that groundwater, it makes it out into the nearshore marine ecosystem really quickly. And when we put nutrients like nitrogen out there, it encourages algae growth. And algae growth does a couple of things. One, it'll smother the reef, but two, it'll also suck the oxygen out of the water. And oxygen is the lifeline for everything that's living in the ocean. It's approximately 200,000 gallons of wastewater a day that's generated by the commercial triangle over here, and then 10 condos and a handful of houses. Like, that's a precious groundwater resource, right? So we're taking groundwater out of the ground, sending it from Iao Valley over here, and then we're putting it into the ocean. So we're not even like putting it back into the aquifer to replenish that aquifer. So that's 73 million gallons of fresh water that we use. So like wastewater becomes wasted water. So the Maalaea Regional Wastewater Reclamation System is the wastewater treatment plant and then also the disposal. So we have to pump all the wastewater up to the wastewater treatment plant. So that's the first process, right? So collection's number one. And then ideally what we're doing is we're looking at our overall water resource balance, and we're using this water where it's appropriate. And plants seem to be the most appropriate thing because, you know, you have micronutrients that are still left over. We could use it to support landscaping or support native revegetation, something that's like a little bit more appropriate. So if we could address sediment and nutrients, then we have like a really good chance to regenerate Maʻalaea Bay. And we have that opportunity right now, which is pretty amazing.
And that brings us to the next piece of this puzzle, restoring the mudflats at Kelia.
So if you look at a wetland, it's like a big coffee filter. It holds all the fluid and all the soot and, you know, all the earthen material and lets it out in its due time, right? The ocean needs land-like nutrients, but in its own pace and in its own time.
Without excess.
Yeah.
So then this here, this is part of the Kelia wetland.
Yeah,
that
come,
water there.
look. This side is fed not only from Pohakea,
Oh, wow.
so Pohakea watershed.
Wow, look at that.
That is Pohakea. The next large valley gulch, that's Kanaio.
Oh.
That's Kanaio Valley, Kanaio Gulch. So the plains of Kanaio is where that water feeds. But basically, I'm proposing the whole thing, but I'm proposing for now an acre because I have to, new to it, right? I have to learn as I go. State permits when it comes to yanking vegetation. But if you can just imagine, imagine it, Anissa. No more kiawe. We just step one, get rid of the kiawe. Step two, sit back and kilo.
Yeah.
Right? It's not what I want, it's what the aina wants. It's what the aina needs. Ahupuaʻa systems, mauka to makai has worked forever. And then everybody together taking care of their piece of kuleana, it comes together. The environment tells us things if we kilo and we really listen, humble ourselves and listen. It'll literally tell us what to do. That's a nice spread, Alisa. Yeah, representing mauka to makai. Many ways you can interpret and look at this as far as like connectivity and everyone working together to achieve, one goal, and that's a, healthy environment,
Yeah. We're gonna fry up some akule, and then we're gonna use the opelu sort of like as a pupu with our poi. Then we're gonna make some ulu poke, highlighting the different limu. And then also to go with the pupus, we'll do a ulu chip seasoned with Hawaiian poke ingredients.
Gotcha.
Good. All of these beautiful dishes represent the beauty and abundance of Hawaii. Maʻalaea's need for restoration is similar to many places throughout Hawaii. By getting to know your area and sharing this story, we can help to protect our land and sea. Wow, look at Uncle's plate.
Okay. Oh. I'll show you guys how. Mom.
There you go.
Woo-hoo. Yes, sir.